And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Thank you very much, John Bon Jovial, ladies and gentlemen, or as he's more affectionately known, the legendary John Bon Jovial. And thank you, audience, for being here this week. We are glad to have you here for what promises to be a fun and exciting show. We have another one of our rare but exciting album reveal parties. This week, we have a gentleman who we've had the pleasure to talk with in the past, who goes out of his way to come up with creative music, and he has outdone himself this time. Grant Maloy Smith is the gentleman's name, and I know you're looking forward to talking with him again, John Bon Jovial.
Oh, every time that Grant is on the show, it's a great adventure to have him with us because of the stories that he tells, the tales that he weaves, and basically the fact that the guy plays some great music. He really does. He's one of a kind. He's innovative.
And I know, since you don't hear this music before the show, and I'd like to surprise you and get your gut feelings spur of the moment.
I'm incredibly excited about it.
You're going to really love this album. He has a new album now, and it was just out Friday, the 25th of June. It's called Appalachia, American Stories is the title of it. We're going to play a track right now, then we're going to sit down with Grant and chat with him. The track here is called Down to Hatchabee Road. Here's Grant Maloy Smith.
Put you on your best white shirt, come down to Hatchabee Road. Tell your ma, yeah, tell them all, we're going to Hatchabee Road. There's a path down to the water, we're going there today. Come get you in the water, wash your cares away. Come on, misters, come on, sisters, down to Hatchabee Road. We're all sinners, just beginners, down to Hatchabee Road. Come on, all you children, come down to Hatchabee Road. Even if you're 90 years, we're going to Hatchabee Road. There's healing in that water, we're going there today. Come get you in the water, wash your sins away. Come my mothers, all you mothers, down to Hatchabee Road. We're all sinners, just beginners, down to Hatchabee Road. Bring your sons and daughters down to Hatchabee Road. Take them to the water, down to Hatchabee Road. Everyone's just coming, the spirit's in the air. All good folks are welcome, we got blessings there. Come my fathers, dads and others, down to Hatchabee Road. We're all sinners, just beginners, down to Hatchabee Road. Come on, misters, come on, sisters, down to Hatchabee Road. We're all sinners, just beginners, down to Hatchabee Road. Put you on your best white shirt, come down to Hatchabee Road.
And there you go. That's Down to Hatchabee Road. That's Grant Maloy Smith from his brand new album, Appalachia, American Stories. Let's hear the story from the man himself. Grant, come on in here. Sit down and say hello.
Here I am. Good to be with you again, David.
Hey,
Thanks
great
for having
to
me.
have you back. Great to have you back on the show. John and I were just talking before we played that about how much we look forward to when you come by because of not only your great music, but the stories you have to tell, the amazing things you have to share with us. And we are really looking forward to this one. Give us a little bit of preface on this great new album you have, Appalachia, American Stories?
Well, my family's from that area, like Eastern Kentucky, Eastern Tennessee, West Virginia, the whole Appalachia area, a cultural area. I mean, of course, the mountain range is much bigger than that cultural area, but just that part is, it's where my family's from, and it's where my kind of music comes from. The kind of music I play came out of those hills. And so my last record, as you might remember from a few years ago, was about the Dust Bowl and the American Great Plains back in the 1930s. I've taken to making these theme records now, and I really like doing it. I spend years doing research and making sure I cover the topics that need to be covered. I mean, you can't really represent a whole region of the country in a dozen songs, but you can hit the highlights. And so that's what I've been doing since I made the last record. I've been up to making this one. So it's really been a labor of love for me.
Well, based on past experience, and I can share, having gotten a sneak preview, that this album is no different. The results speak for themselves. The time and effort you put into doing it really pays off, because you come up with a true collection, a collectible collection, if I may. It's something that you not only like to listen to, you want to have to keep it. It's that good, and you really fit into the tradition and history and lore of Appalachia, because you do it so well, and you do them justice with this album. I am really proud and pleased to be able to share it with my listeners, and of course with John Bon Jovial, who doesn't get to hear them ahead of time. John, say hello. John.
Well, hey, Grant, it is so cool to have you back here again with us. It really is. Yeah, David's right. He deprives me of the experience of listening to the music beforehand. But, if Down to Hatchabee Road is indicative of what's going on here, I think I'm going to love this. I was listening to the song just now, and I'm thinking to myself, many years ago, oh my gosh, this is back in the early to mid 70s. Driving around in the hills of Kentucky and Tennessee and western North Carolina, and listening to some of the local radio stations playing this, not this song obviously, but this genre, and immediately brought me back, and because I love this stuff. When I was going to the University of South Florida back in the 70s, in the Tampa area, a very good friend of mine and I, he was the best man at my wedding. We would go up into Pasco County to the tent revivals, different kind of music, but the same dedication and the same reverence given to the music, and that's what I'm hearing here. And hey, as we good Jewish boys like to say, Mazel Tov.
Well, shalom and all that back right at you.
There you go.
There you go.
Grant, now, in going along with the nature of the album and the message that it's conveying, you did something very unique for your first release, your first music video from this album. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, the very first song on the record is called "The Coal Comes Up," and it's looking through a miner. He's toward the end of his life, a coal miner. And he's older now, and he's broken up, and he's got a few missing parts, but he's proud of what he did, because he worked his whole life really hard and provided for his family. And I thought the only way to really do that would be to do what a bunch of my relatives did, which is actually go down inside a coal mine in Harlan County, Kentucky. That's exactly what I did back in April. We spent a whole day in the coal mine. I bumped my head about 37,000 times in the space of about 4 hours. But we found a place where two paths cross each other, and the ceiling was kind of high there, so I could stand up, and we shot the video there right inside a coal mine. And I'll tell you, that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I can well imagine, and you can't believe how much I wish I could have been there for that. That had to be something really classic. Now, obviously, on an audio program, we can't play the music video, but people can go out and check that, because that'll be up. Yeah. But we're going to let the listeners hear the audio to that song right now. Here's Grant Maloy Smith and "The Coal Comes Up."
going town again. We're rooming pillar boys, West Virginia men. Hey now, pickaxe in my hand. We'll load our quota, brother, load it if we can. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down. Like that will keep the devil coming round. Lord, save me, Jesus, come get me on the ground. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down. They say, doctor, it's getting hard to breathe. I got the miner's lung like Daddy before me. Hatred ain't got no place. There's just one color here, cold in every face. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down. Like that will keep the devil coming round. Lord, save me, Jesus, come get me on the ground. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down. I'll cut coal long as I'm able. I've had mouth and feet since I was 10. That coal put 3 squares on a table. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down. Like that will keep the devil coming round. Lord, save me, Jesus, come get me on the ground. Oh, the cold comes up when a man goes down.
All right, Grant Maloy Smith, ladies and gentlemen, from his brand new album, Appalachia, America's Stories, and Grant is here sharing with us from that, from the album, the stories, the backstories, and everything. And I know Grant, you've probably got well, I was going to say a ton of stories, but that's just a pun I had not intended. Although I do flash on Tennessee Ernie Ford every now and then, but no, actually, This song you did, I think, personally, an amazing job. The music intro alone just sets the tone for it. I mean, your mind, the lights start going down, and you're looking inside this tunnel, and it's amazing. You did an excellent job of painting the picture with the music.
Well, thank you very much. It's meant to be kind of cinematic, to bring you into, like you just said, to bring you into that world where it's like you're in the theater, and how they play the previews, and then the lights go down, and then that comes up. That's that cool feeling that you get when something like that happens.
I tell you what, I'm listening to this, and this goes back to my old radio days. That I had a professor who, and I think that this is adaptable. He said that radio is the theater of the imagination, and I think that what you've done with this song is you have created a theater of the imagination. It's a real story. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. Dude, this is amazing. I am just so blown away by the first 2 songs that I have heard. And I'm not saying that just to stroke your ego or make you feel good. I mean, this is good stuff, man. This really is.
Thank you.